stick point as we welcome you inside Levi's. Short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had no run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second and very short, Rodgers, man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 30 on second down. Rodgers over the middle. That's caught by Adams. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Now the ball comes loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. This is Jerick McKinnon, who missed the entire 2018 campaign. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
46, 46. 51. 51.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 22. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Give here as they try the run-pass option. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Rodgers will try again on second down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Let's go.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Break. Team 18.
Rodgers to throw once more. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to.
And the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's a gain of 21 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Here I come again. Here I come.
First down, Prescott. Screen play, McKinnon. Oh, it's out. McKinnon fumbled it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Everybody chill.
In your face.
Mike, if you win,
They'll throw again. Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Packers pick it up. Does the big boy have the juice? And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, 24-25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
you ain't going nowhere. Switch.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
951. Come on. You better bring it. 26.
Here's McKinnon on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Third and long for Prescott. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play, all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. He's got the first down and more past midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
At the Packers' 29-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Coleman on the toss. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go.
Tighten up. Pull together.
Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Wide in.
Now Prescott. They shakes him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Preston Smith coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. This will be from 49 yards out. Well, Gould missed it. It's no good. Wide to the left, off the mark. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Darius Leonard, last year's leading tackler as a rookie in the NFL, in on the stop.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the Niners' 20.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Preston Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Here we go, 47. Here we go, zoom. Right here, guys. Mike 51, Mike 51. Here it comes,
Looking to throw, Prescott. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. SOS.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Parker. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Parker, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
We're going to 53. Mike 51. Come on. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
Throwing, Prescott, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
At the 35-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd. Here we go, D. Here I come.
Mike 51. Mike 51.
47.
51's Mike. Mike 51.
Check.
26.
Prescott from the gun. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Packers
Let's go,
take
baby.
first and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for the Niners. 53 yards.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Get me? Hey, kill. 51's the mic. 26.
On first down now, run with McKinnon. And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go. Single receiver, single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. I got 15. I got 15. Hey, here we go.
Here we go, 46, 46.
Hey, 50. 50 to Mike. 50 to 26.
From the 16, Prescott. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
Now a first down carry by Jones. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Man, I got you.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rodgers now to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Roquan Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now it's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
319. Yeah, Liz.
Watch the run. Tight dog.
Get 300. 6.
Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it inside.
36, 36.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Mike 50, Mike 50. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
6 guard. Check 6 guard.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. 41 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd.
Throwing on second down. Prescott. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line.
It's a gain of 22 yards. And the 49er first down. First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Go. Go. Shift. Watch the shift. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Prescott from the gun on third. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
You better bring it. I'm letting you.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. The left side throw complete to Adams. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. It's complete to Parker left side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
18.
Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Shift.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
18. You gonna get this, boys? We didn't get that.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Two former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end, Graham. Packer first down. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Check 99. Check 99.
Go. Get out there.
Hold. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Hey, 47.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Under. Here we go, 47. 26.
Coleman now. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. First down San Francisco. The pickup 14 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go.
42. Check pass. Switch.
Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 26.
This is Coleman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field. Build the play.
The Niners on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here we go. Go to 54. Line in. You better be afraid of me. Orbit. Here we go, 47. 26.
Here's Prescott. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. That sack came from the corner. On the corner blitz, it was Josh Jackson.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Packers, they move back over 500 now at 6-5, and they'll have a